Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to our new campaign, the premiere of Shadows of Mist. I've got a very exciting cast today, and I am excited to get into this new campaign. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, chat's lighting up already. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with you guys, but for those of you that are new here, these are. Oh, let's get in chat. There we go. These are our social links. We've got a very warm, welcoming, family-feel Discord, which are entirely inclusive, friendly. They'll help teach games, talk about games, and they won't preach to you. It's great. You should definitely be in there if you're not already. I have Twitter. If you guys would like to get into a game, the best way to get into a game is to send me a DM on Twitter. Pop me a follow, send me a DM, and I'll get you in the diary. And lastly, YouTube. YouTube is where all the videos go 24 hours after the show or near enough. So, yeah, that's where the things are. I also have a Patreon and some merch, but I will... the Discord is evil, trust. There's the Patreon and some merch if you guys want to check that out, but we'll try and give you some content first so you guys can see what it's all about. Today we are playing City of Mists. You can see the logos back there, and there you can see the book itself, which is a beautiful book. It's up for 2 or 3 Ennies, I think, this game, so we're really excited to be playing it. Do you know, I think that's everything from me. I'm excited to get going, so I'm going to go and get our friends. I'm trialing a new layout today as well, so bear with if things aren't quite right. So let's go and get the guys. Oh, hi, you guys. You are live.
Hello.
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 Hello. Oh, I've managed to break everything. Hang on. Don't press minimize is the lesson I've just learned. There we go. Welcome, guys. So, why don't we go round? You guys introduce yourselves, and then I'll set the scene at the end, which is unusual for me. Usually I do it the other way around. But we'll go round the screen as I see it. I realise I'm mirrored, so that didn't look right. It should look like that for you guys. So we'll start top left with Dinah Kennedy.
Hello, I'm Dinah. I'm new to Twitter, Twitch, and gaming in general, and I look forward to playing myself tonight.
Very glad to have you, Dinah. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you for inviting me.
Next up, we welcome back Kiana S.
Hi, I'm super excited to be playing. I will be playing Xiu Lan, or X, as she goes by Li. She is a teenager and punk as fuck.
Excellent. Kiana bringing more youths to the channel. Next around we have my dear wife, Alice. Hi, Alice.
Hello. Yeah, I've been so excited for this game, but I am playing Imogen Carter. Yeah, I guess we'll see more about her character when we start playing.
Okay. Next up, I mean, I'm here, but we're just going to skip past me and go straight to Zippy Zippo. Hey, Zippy.
Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo, and I'm going to be playing John Doe, a local vagrant.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And last, but certainly not least, Mr. Torscore.
Hey, how you doing? Happy to be here. It's my first time playing City in the Mist, but I've heard tons about it. I've been excited to try to get into a game, so I cannot wait to be involved in this over here on the Scraticus Academy. It is going to be a blast. I can't wait. And with all of that, I am playing a janitor who works at a big sort of complex of buildings that houses lots of different types of things inside of it.
Fantastic. And that, as we mentioned, today we're going to be playing City of Mist. Now, I think most of us have limited experience of City of Mist. I know this is my first time DMing it, and some of the guys, this is their first time playing it. So, I'm going to be showing character sheets up in the background. At the moment, I've got tool schools up, for example, because the Roll20 is beautiful. But as you guys are playing, I'll try and bring your character sheets up, and we'll all just sort of bumble through and learn this together. So, the year is 1999. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve. And yeah, it's getting late into the evening. Why don't we start with Imogen? I imagine Imogen, it's late evening, maybe 7 p.m. Where would Imogen be?
Imogen would be in the diner that she works in, probably topping up coffees for anyone who was still lingering there on Christmas Eve. If there was any food to be had, she'll be dishing it out, but she'll be there on her own. She's probably the last worker still there and been left to lock up.
Okay, so you guys, at 7 p.m., are any of you likely to be in the diner right now?
Clinton wouldn't be there yet.
Okay.
Not yet. John wouldn't be there. Not yet.
Okay.
At 7 p.m. I could be there.
Well, we don't have to be. Alice can play through the scene as Imogen for a bit if we want to. This isn't a forced...
I don't have to interact with her.
So, okay.
July probably there if her mark is there.
So, okay. One of the other clientele comes in. He's a guy. He's in his late 40s. He's sort of slightly large, and he's got a sweaty brow. He's walking in, sweating despite the snow outside in this snowy Christmas time city. He walks in. He's clearly been shopping all day. And he walks up to the counter and just says, "Hey, Imogen, how are you?"
Oh, hi. I'm good, I guess. You in here for a coffee, or you're out late on Christmas Eve, last minute shopping?
Yeah, you could say that. And he proceeds to tell you about his day, waking up, trying to beat the traffic into town, being stuck in traffic all day, and generally having a mess of a time going around the shops.
She's just cleaning down and topping up. If he wants coffee, she just keeps it topped up. Sort of, she is listening to him, but she's like, like as she's trying to get on with her other jobs and get some bits ready.
And so he asks the question, "How has your day been?" And with that question, I would, if you wouldn't mind, like to flash back through your day and see how your day has gone so far.
Okay.
So, what time does Imogen's day start?
She wakes up very early, about 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
She feeds her cat, Jerry, in her tiny little apartment. She sorts herself a coffee and grabs herself a slice of toast before throwing on her coat and uniform and running down the street to the diner, which she works at, which she waitresses at and opens for the owner early in the morning. First thing she does is turn on all the coffee machines, mop the floor, and get ready for the day, prepping all the food.
Okay. So at that early hour of 6 a.m. you said, right?
She will be in the diner around 6 a.m.
Okay, so 4 to 6 a.m. Where are the rest of your characters at this time of day?
4 to 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
John Doe would probably be down an alley somewhere, all bundled up for the night. He probably just got back from spending the night, talking with his best friend, Father Doyle, a priest of a Catholic church that is nearby the alleyway, which he would have just finished attending a mass.
Okay. Perfect. Beautiful.
Dinah would be at 6 a.m. unlocking the office and brewing the good coffee and making sure that she doesn't have to drink that toilet coffee that the interns make. It's one of the small pleasures I have in life.
at 4 a.m., Clinton will be finishing up his work at the night shift, having had his normal lunch at the diner around midnight. He works sort of through the night, and by 4 a.m. he'd be wrapping up the last of his duties, hanging up his sort of work frock that he uses to sort of keep his clothes, his uniform that he's assigned, into his locker there in the janitor's closet. He will be locking up, walking to catch the 502 bus, which would take him back to his apartment, up the 22 stairs that lead to his door, going through and immediately going straight for the kettle, holds it under the faucet, counts to 11, puts the kettle on the front left burner, turns the burner knob just past 7, no further. Front right cup he takes from the cabinet, top saucer from the stack on the left, placing it down, going and getting his tea bag, ripping it open halfway, but only halfway, laying it down on the saucer next to him, and going through his last of his evening routine before going to sleep through the day and get ready for his next day of work.
And so what sort of time would Clinton wake up?
Clinton normally wakes up much later in the evening, as he does work third shift, so he sleeps through the day, but he wakes up at 7:26 in his apartment to get ready to do his activities around his apartment before heading in to catch his bus that then takes him to his shift work, which starts at about 8:45 at his place of business.
Okay. So just rewinding back to earlier in the day, it's now mid-morning, 8 to 10 a.m. How are your characters getting on now? The day getting more interesting, more boring, more routine?
John would be on the street corner with a empty styrofoam cup. No sign or anything. He's just sitting on the curb with the cup beside him, just watching the people go by. People come up and they drop a couple coins into the cup. He looks down, he thanks them, and that's what he would be doing for most of the mid-morning. Would just be panhandling, but he's not asking. It's just more of the they see him and they feel for him and they drop the coins in, and it's Christmas, so
yeah, people being extra generous this time of year. Has John been on the streets for a few years?
He's been on the streets for about 4 years.
Yeah, so you've probably got used to the fact that around this sort of time it's a good time to be seen as homeless. Like most of the year it's definitely not an advantage, but Christmas time, the generosity of people comes out just that little bit more, and it's a good time to be seen. And
the coffee cup is actually a coffee that somebody would buy him early in the morning as their part of their daily routine, and he just kind of sips on it throughout the day, leaves it next to him, and people just say, hey, that's a coffee cup, and he obviously looks like a vagrant, so we're going to give him some money. So he's not even asking for it. He's just like, he looks down at it and he thanks them and Merry Christmas, and he pulls out like a little moleskin journal that he has in a very small, maybe like 2-inch pen. This thing has been pencil, sharpened a lot. It's like he's had the same pencil for a while, and he writes down their description, and then he writes down a little blurb of what he feels like, they would need at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect.
Shulan is probably still just getting woken up by her best friend, who is, doing that like, hey, kind of wake up thing as she just kind of pulls the cover over her head. She got in real late. Well, late for most people. Probably around 3 or 4 a.m. Just crashed in the apartment that she shares with a few of the people that she's in the organization with.
And anything happening in the organization this morning?
Well,
Christmas Eve,
there's
after all.
it is Christmas Eve. For the Seven Heaven, a lot of it isn't really, holidays are kind of observed, but not really. Their job is kind of around the clock, stealing and messing with politics isn't going to stop anytime soon. So, she probably knows that she has to do a job, and she's been following her mark for the last couple of weeks, and so she's been working extra hard. So Christmas is kind of just another day for her, another day that she has to go out and follow this one damn guy around the city.
And perhaps two of the more busier people in this morning, the two people at work on Christmas Eve, Dinah and Imogen.
Yes, we don't necessarily celebrate Christmas at the office. We're more of a Hanukkah outfit. However, sometimes they overlap. More days, more gifts. But we have a morning meeting at 8 a.m. at the office. I really just try to look as busy as possible and take notes, but I'm really not doing anything because it's all automated. It's 1999, for Christ's sake. And essentially, then I'm set to task after the meeting, and I just process archaic and antiquated image formats, scrubbing them for data, see if I can find evidence that will make sure our clients, when they go to trial, it swings in our favor. And I'm the best at what I do.
Anything in particular you're looking for this morning? Any particular case that's been causing trouble or anything like that?
Yeah, we're having a difficult time. I don't want to say we're masking, but there was a incident where there were multiple street cameras that filmed an event, and we felt it was really important that not all the cameras, I think I've said too much. One of our clients was caught on camera, and this we know, and they were caught on 3 cameras. And I think by the end of the day, we'll only have 2 angles. That's all I can say about that.
Of course. Confidentiality. Yeah. Of course.
Lawyer-client privilege, all that.
Thank you very much, Enchanted Tim, for the resubscription. That's 2 months in a row. Time really does fly by so quickly. You can still donate a natural critical and natural failure in this game. Those come in the form of Snake Eyes and Double Six. So your subscription will count the same way. Imogen, how's your morning going?
Imogen is probably quite happy she's being kept busy. There are a lot more people out who are doing last minute shopping. Her very lazy boss has not turned up again, which she sort of half expected, and he's a bit of a Grinch and doesn't like getting decorations out, so she's got this tiny little tree she's bought from home and is just trying to find anything she can decorate the place with. If anyone is on their own in there and wants to feel a bit more Christmassy, she's trying to decorate the place, walk around, top up coffee and chat to anyone, or just give them a friendly smile in case they haven't had one today.
Yeah, so I mean, sounds like a pretty good day, all things going.
It's a standard day apart from the Christmas decorating. It's sort of the same route. She pours the coffee, she smiles, she might chat a little bit, goes back to clearing down and all the usual, and starts serving coffee again.
So it's getting up to about lunchtime, maybe early afternoon.
At this time, he would have gone. Now, Alice, does your coffee shop sell sandwiches and pastries and whatnot around lunchtime?
It does sandwiches, pastries, and like the odd sort of simple meal, if anything, like a hot meal.
So John would definitely go in there around this time, and he would take his styrofoam cup. When he enters, he's disheveled. He has long brown hair, just has streaks of gray, big bushy beard that's streaked with gray as well. He's kind of covered. He's in a long kind of overcoat with couple layers of scarves, the knitted fingerless gloves and stuff. The most like striking feature about him is his 2 pair of baby blues and a scar that goes right across his forehead. He would walk up to you. He's kind of soft spoken. He kind of doesn't talk, but he does talk, but it's not. He would look at you and he would nod and he would dump the change, not haphazardly where it just goes everywhere, but kind of like onto the counter, and he would order a bunch of sandwiches, as much as the change would allow him. So maybe like 4, maybe 5 sandwiches, just very basic ham and cheese.
She sort of takes the change and doesn't really bother to count it and just tips it in. She refills your coffee cup, and after a while she comes out with what you probably realize is a lot more sandwiches than you had money for, and she just sort of pushes it forward as Merry Christmas.
He nods and he kind of looks at you, and he reaches into his pocket and he hands you just like a little flyer of this Christmas mass that is happening over at the local church. Says Father Doyle is doing his yearly Christmas mass, and he takes the sandwiches and he leaves. And there's another vagrant across the street, and he goes over and he takes one of the sandwiches and he hands it to him, and then goes about his way. As he goes on his way, he goes and he hits up other places where he knows that his other homeless people would dwell, and he would start handing out all of the sandwiches until all of the sandwiches are gone. Then he would go back to his corner and just kind of sit down and sip his coffee.
And the whole way through, everyone very grateful. This is a routine thing. This is the sort of thing you do.
Yeah, this is what he does every day around lunchtime. Is like he looks down and notices that his cup is overflowing, and he would go into Imogen's coffee shop and just kind of put the change down, get sandwiches, and then he would go around and he would feed the other homeless. And he doesn't keep any of the sandwiches for himself. He just sits down and he just starts sipping his coffee again until it's empty, and he places it right next to him, and he just kind of observes, looking at people who look kind of sad or upset, and kind of opens up his moleskin notebook and writes down what they look like, young redhead with green scarf, looks for love kind of deal. It's like a little blurb that he writes down, and he closes the book and he taps it into one of the inside pockets of his overcoat.
Yeah, perfect. And so midday, obviously, Clinton?
Yes, at 11:08, Clinton gets up to pee from sleeping. At 11:10, he flicks the water after washing his hands on an orchid that is placed on a window with sort of pebbled glass, that obscuring glass for the bathroom privacy glass, and closes the door almost shut, walks back, as that's where the light comes from in his apartment, and goes back to sleep.
And I'm getting the sense, just this feeling that this happens every day.
Every day, right on schedule.
And Julan?
She had finally rolled out of bed after much prodding from AJ. And kind of like still wearing last night's eyeliner. She didn't even bother taking it off. She just goes and pads over, puts on her shoes, grabs her skateboard, and heads over to headquarters. Which is a fairly unassuming looking office, part of her office building, fairly old. It's on the second floor, one of the suites in there. And this is the company is a cleaning company. Nobody really pays attention to it. She just see this 17, 18-year-old just kind of stroll in, not really pay attention. She just kind of does this to the person at the front desk, just waltzes in. Yeah, boss, you here?
Can you give me a quick description of your boss?
Yeah, so she is a middle-aged woman, fairly severe looking, has hair tied up in a fairly tight bun, always wearing pantsuit, even though like the surroundings a little too dingy for that. And she's always kind of has this like set thinking look on her face, no matter what.
So she's... good morning, Lee.
Hey, so, I mean, I've been following this guy for like 2.5 weeks now. And it's like Christmas, so I think he'd be busy. So I could do the job tonight if you'd let me. It's just.
I mean, it's possible. Perhaps if you have time, I have another mark for you.
Another?
Yes, a priority mark. This one would be dangerous.
Dangerous?
If you're up for it.
I mean, when have I ever said no to danger, boss?
Yes. I want you to track and find a lead, a way in, an entry point, a weak contact, something.
Mm-hmm.
For Tony Lee Vincenzo. You'll know Tony Lee Vincenzo is the local, he is seen with many, many crimes, but never ever convicted, and the saying that I've lost the saying, the one where money doesn't pay, doesn't seem to apply to him.
Yeah, she definitely kind of leans up on her skateboard at that point and said, big one, huh?
It could be huge. He's planning a large event for the new year.
New Year. All right, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, do you have any other information? I could just start tracking him down.
You're the first to work this case. You don't necessarily have to find information on him, just something. Find the weak link in the chain.
You got it. I guess I'll get on to that. Do you want me to pass on to the other job over to AJ?
That job can wait. I feel we're going to need, when you have more information, I feel we're going to need to band together on this one.
All right. Whatever you say, boss. Right. I'm gonna go head out then. Try to find something. Have a good Christmas, I guess. She just waltzes up and just like pops her hood on.
So it's still around midday. Early lunchtime.
Midday, early lunchtime. John would probably be still watching the corner. He's known on that corner. Everybody who walks that route every day kind of knows him as John. Nothing else, you know. Some people would stop and talk to him, you know, maybe ask him for advice. John just kind of nods and just lends a ear, you know, lets them talk about their problems or days, you know. Especially the youths. The youths find him very approachable, especially the ones that are having a rather hard time at home. They always find themselves sitting next to John and just venting about their parents and what's going on at home. And John very stoically looks down and he kind of nods and maybe hands them a sandwich if he has any of them left.
Does this sound like the sort of encounter that might involve Lee?
She may pass by. John would definitely recognize her. She kind of.
Oh, I feel like he would. I feel like he also may have followed you one or twice on your like endeavors to see who you were tracking, because you look like you would have a purpose, and that would interest John, and he probably would follow like maybe a couple like paces behind you, and then just kind of blend in with the cityscape.
It's funny because the two people who like to blend in kind of, because she would definitely at some point, John would be following her, and then she'd be gone.
Would you be doing this mark that your boss had just tell you?
Oh yeah, she's definitely going to be scouting around.
Okay, so I think with that, as soon as he sees you, he kind of like stands up, walks over to the Salvation Army Santa Claus that's ringing the bell, you know, on the other corner, and he dumps all of his change that he was collecting into the Salvation Army bucket, and then he would just let you get just far ahead that if you look back you wouldn't notice him, but where you would still be in his line of sight, where he would just kind of follow you.
So as you dump this change into the Santa's bucket, he like nods and bless you, sir. I haven't got much. I can give you a cigarette.
John takes it and kind of tucks it behind his ear, and he's like, I don't smoke, but I know exactly where this will go.
Bless
And
you.
then he kind of just buttons one of the buttons of his overcoat, and he turns and he starts following Lee.
Okay, we'll leave that there. So how's the afternoon going in the office?
I wouldn't know. I'm not there anymore. It's lunchtime. I'm on my way to the diner to meet my old college roommate, Alicia. We normally meet special occasions once a month for lunch at the diner. And I think it's time for me to make an order. A pastrami on wheat bread with, light on the mayonnaise, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and on the side, a serving of sweet corn, but make sure there's absolutely no meat, fish, chickens, eggs, onions, garlic, mushrooms, or alcohol in the sweet corn. And to drink, I'd like a grande quad non-fat 1 pump no whip mocha.
And she's like writing down all of these notes quite quickly. Like, okay, no problem. I will go and sort that for you now. And she sort of bustles off and starts
And if
getting
it's wrong,
everything
I'll send it
ready,
back.
double checking the list constantly to make sure.
Oh gosh,
she's not-
Dinah is one of those. I said
What do you
one
mean one of
pump.
those?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dinah.
One of those employed? What was that, Mr. Doe?
I could have been employed. I don't remember.
Personal problem.
It is.
You're not even here. You're off panhandling.
And Imogen comes back over and she puts everything down and then looks at her list and she's like, yeah, 1 pump, no eggs. Yeah, and light on the mayo. That's you're sorry. Enjoy and let me know if I can get you anything else. And she sort of
It's absolutely perfect.
thank you. And
I'm gonna tip you extra.
she's just like, oh, and sort of almost like an awkward curtsy because she doesn't really know what to do and then sort of wanders off again.
I don't either. Not here. She's never late, but she's late today.
So yeah,
I guess I'll invite Mr. Doe in, see if he wants something to eat. Sandwich John, are you out there? Are you still hungry? Do you need something to drink?
Sandwich John is following Lee to her mark.
Stood up, even by the hobo. It's okay. He'll be back. He always is. Day in, day out. I think I'm gonna people watch. Who looks interesting in here? It's the diner. It's midday.
yeah, okay. It's absolutely heaving today. Imogen is rushed off her feet. Imogen, do you have any people to help you out? It's Christmas Eve. Everyone's in town shopping.
There is no one to help her out, and again, like her boss hasn't even turned up. So, but she likes to stay busy. It means the day goes a bit faster. So she's running around, offering smiles, and
No help.
no help at all.
Completely stranded this woman.
Every hour the phone rings, Imogen, and it is your boss to say, oh yeah, no, I'm just trying to make my way in. I'm stuck in traffic. I'll probably be about another half an hour.
And she sort of rolls her eyes, but keeps her voice quite like, yeah, no problem. Got it completely under control. It's no problem at all.
And,
But she's got like a bitterness like on her face as she's like cursing at the wall.
So how do you go about serving the customers? Do you take any sort of prioritization, or do you just come first serve?
She works methodically. She will work her way. Whoever came in first and sat down first, she looks, offers coffee first, will walk around topping up people's coffees, and then once they've started drinking it, that she goes back around and takes their order.
Because I mean, you can see certainly some people like Dinah who have come in on their lunch break, and others who are definitely just out shopping. So would you maybe prioritize people? I'm trying to get in your head, Imogen. Would this be?
If she could do it subtly without causing a problem, then yeah, she might jump in every now and if she if Dinah's like a regular, then she'll know that she's on her lunch break and she will sort of pop over there like, yeah, no problem. But
and doing this, people are generally sympathetic towards you. They can see that you've got a 30-person diner and you're one person, so they're actually quite patient with you despite the tensions of Christmas Eve. Your diner is sort of providing them moment's peace, a moment's calm in an otherwise busy day, despite it being a whirlwind of activity for you.
she just quite likes to keep busy in general. So she's running around. If she's not serving someone, then she's wiping down the surfaces. She's not, might like she'll, if there's someone she knows quite well, she might put a hand on their shoulder and just check how their day was going every time she gets a brief second or moment.
You've mastered the daily, weekly, and monthly checklist. The walls have been scrubbed. Keep a fine establishment. That's why.
But there's that one spot in the grout of the tiles in the wall that you just can't get out.
I put it there. how she knows.
Okay, so the afternoon continues in this way. So I suppose we'll follow Lee as we head later into the afternoon. Lee being followed by John. Clinton, I guess, doesn't have any other habits around mid-afternoon? Or...
Oh, well, 3:15. He wakes up from sleep of exactly 8 hours. 1 egg, 1 slice of bread for toast, placed twice in the toaster. Coffee, not tea. 4:22. His morning routine of getting dressed, taking a shower. All of that ends 4:30. Walks down the mailbox, checks for mail, retrieves his paper. 4:36. Begins sorting the paper to take out all the ads. Too many ads right now. Christmas time, full of ads. Gets rid of all of them, throws them away. Settles down to read the paper until 5:56 when we walk to the bus stop.
Yeah. And today the letterbox is absolutely full of seasonal offers, Christmas bargains, gifts for your loved
It's
ones.
taking longer than normal to get the ads out of his paper.
Yeah.
He's not happy about it.
Oh, there's like a full like centerfold like extra magazine as well. Like
Just bosses it. Doesn't even look. It is unnecessary clutter, and it is taking too long.
Mm. You can feel a CD in there as well when you pull it out.
He says to me, "Why is there CD in my paper? A CD does not belong in a paper. A paper is a paper. It's called a paper. Do they not understand? It's paper. You do not put a CD in the paper."
Oh my goodness, he reminds me of the guy from Office Space, the one who's like Milton with the stapler. They took my
He's
stapler.
gonna burn the place down.
Yeah.
Clinton's gonna burn the place down. We need to stop Clinton from burning the place down. Oh no. It's taking a dark turn.
He reminds me of Milton. He's my favorite character out of all of Office Space. FYI.
He's the mascot at our business.
So on the front page of the paper, you can read it says in big letters, "Free Christmas Carol CD."
The font is too big. The font is too big. There's too many lines. I need to read the paper. The news. There's not enough news on the front page of the news. I only read the front pages.
Yeah, and it's covered today in seasonal things. It's like almost either nothing's going on or someone's very good at covering things up.
Where's the news? It's called a newspaper.
It's full of like, you know, that nonsense news. You know, when you're reading through and it's like, oh, in September this year, ducks were saved from drowning by a puppy, and just
Yeah,
like,
filler news.
He actually is interested in the duck story because he feeds the ducks every day. At exactly 8:02, he feeds the ducks.
So yeah, you'll be pleased to see that in September a puppy saved some ducks from crossing a busy road somehow.
Good dog.
Yeah. Lee, how are you approaching this job, this mark? Oh, I've lost your sound.
Whoops, there we go. I probably know enough of this guy if he is attached to crime stuff to kind of know where he generally spends his time or where he's seen pretty often. So I'm headed over there.
He operates out of a casino.
Yeah. So I'm headed over to the casino. Making sure that if John's still following her, she's definitely still... No, you see that she kind of, even with the skateboard under her arm, she's kind of like slips through people as if they don't really notice her. They just kind of move out of the way in time. Or she kind of ducks into a side street. If there's a fence in the way, she just climbs over it. No problem.
Okay.
John, as he moves through the crowd, instead of slipping through, people just kind of give him the berth because they want to avoid him. So if somebody comes, like, if they're about to touch, they're going to immediately flinch not to touch John, because, you know, he could be diseased or dirty, but he's not. He's just homeless.
So, are you trying to lose John?
I'm not sure. I feel like Shiyulan would probably notice that somebody is following her. She knows the feeling of there's a set of eyes on me. She doesn't like that, so she's definitely taking past that she knows she can climb over, and not a lot of people will make the effort to climb over.
Mm-hmm.
But she would look back and notice that if she climbed over something, just as if in a video game set on follow mode, John would climb over. Even if he could have just went around, he would climb over. And then every time she would look back, he would kind of like lean up against a wall. He's very intrigued, but he's also worried because he would know just by the route she's taking, maybe where she would end up, which would be the casino.
I think at a certain point, Sheilan would just kind of stop. She had gone over the fourth fence at this point. I mean, if you're following me and not being real subtle about it.
Well, I mean, it's the idea of he's hiding in plain sight because he's a hobo. Nobody looks for a hobo.
But she just kind of says that to nothingness as she just stops.
And he stops and kind of leans up against a wall. Do you turn back to look at him?
Yeah.
He would look at you and with his striking baby blue eyes, and he would wave. And he would take a step as if asking, may he approach?
She takes one step back.
And then he takes one step back and resumes his position on the wall, knowing that he does not have permission to come closer.
Definitely raise an eyebrow, shrugs. At this point, she gets on the skateboard and zooms off.
He would nod. He would probably follow behind a little bit to get the general idea of where she was going and see if he can figure out just by the direction, because he's wandered all over the city, He wouldn't know immediately that she would be going to the casino, but he might have an inkling that might be where she'd be going to. So he might just start heading that way, just wandering.
Of course, the critical thing to this is now you're being followed, Lee. Would you keep going straight to the casino, or would you?
Oh no.
Change, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he would arrive at the casino and notice that she's not there, and then he would let out a sigh of relief, and he would just kind of clutch this little charm that he wears around his wrist, and it's the charm of Saint Michael, and he would just turn around and head back to his corner.
Meanwhile, she's watching from a neighboring building, perked up on somebody's windowsill. Not hers.
Okay. So we are now getting into the afternoon, early afternoon, maybe around 3:00. How are things going in the office? Have you returned to the office? It's Christmas Eve after all. You might have been home early.
Yes, it's going to be a late night. And I'm not supposed to leave until the escorts are ready to take me back to the apartment across the street. I don't go very far. I think I've wrapped up the best I can do with this current case that we are trying to establish doubt that our client was in the location and committed the acts described. I don't like to comment on pending litigation too deep, but when we go to trial, there's just not enough evidence. So I'm spending the rest of the day kind of cleaning house. They've had several parties, and kind of as a gift to the cleaning staff, I like to preemptively lead by example. And sometimes there's bottles of liquor that still have liquid in them. The one or two may slip out the back door. There's nothing wrong with that. You all do it. Stop judging me. And the office is very sparse. There's probably only one or two senior partners who never leave. They live here practically, as far as I know. And the IT staff, who we need because if one of us is in the building, we need to have technical support. If the computers go down, even though we very well could fix it ourselves, they mostly just turn things off and back on. Sometimes it's a little more complicated than that. The software gets updated and then it stops working, so we need to roll back versions.
Yeah, of course.
Windows 98 has been a blessing.
Yeah, much faster and more efficient than 95.
Startup sounds vastly improved.
Yeah, I guess. I use the what is it? Was it Windows?
The Millennium Edition?
No, network Windows networking, was that before?
Yeah, Windows NT.
Yeah, NT. Yeah. He would use the Windows NT machines over at the library. So it was a mix. They used to have 95, and then they just upgraded to NT.
Yeah. And the latest thing, that soon the library is going to be getting more dial-up.
Yeah, and you could they'll be selling the little packages of AOL with 300 minutes of access to the internet.
Yeah, and I believe that's guaranteed until like 2005 or something. Like AOL stays on your computer forever. They're really proud. But Dinah, what the partners are? Either of them perhaps your direct boss, or?
They both are my direct boss. I have to answer to both of them, and I believe they have a package they'd like me to deliver, a VHS tape.
Yeah, so
they've given me an address, no name. I have to drop it off.
Could you maybe describe one of the partners for us?
Absolutely. The suit jacket is at least one size too big.
Shoulder pads?
Yeah, and it's a little too long. It looks like he bought it off the rack at Ross's Dress for Less, but I know that it is probably worth $3,000. And he had it tailored incorrectly, I guess. Maybe his tailor's not very good. He has salt and pepper hair. He's sprayed prematurely. Clean shaven. His brow has receded back about 3 or 4 inches. There's nothing wrong with that. It's age appropriate. And it happens to like all of us. And he has a thick, kind of like dirty Tidewater accent. You're not too sure if he's from Boston or if he's from Florida. He's somewhere in between. And he unfortunately mispronounces like 3 or 4 words every sentence, usually because he's read articles online and he didn't actually attend school, or I guess he did in like the 50s or something like that.
Yeah. I
would never tell any of this to him. Please don't tell him.
Of course, it's our secret. I'll pass on trying to replicate his accent for now until I've.
No, you don't have to.
Exactly what
it sounds a little bit like Grant Ellis. You might know him from WebDM.
Okay. No, I still can't. Today he appears in the office with this videotape, but also he has some information about Tony Vincenzo. He's planning a party on New Year's Eve, and he has a spare invite.
And?
Well, the wife's out of town. I need to take someone along who can help represent the company, show a good front. Do you want to come along, Dinah?
Ooh, scandalous.
What's the dress like?
The dress?
Yeah, what do I need to wear?
We can provide you something. On the company. You're representing us after all.
Have you ever had a man take your or guess your measurements? Okay. I have a charge card, and it will come up under Sears Roebuck. You can find good attire there and accessorize.
I mean, if you want to go shopping, you can. I suppose just smart wear. Perhaps a red dress, maybe black.
Do you want red or black?
He looks a bit out of his depth. Either should be fine. Maybe red?
Okay, I'll wear black. And I kind of sass out.
Yeah, he stands there oh, okay, red would be nice. So, good job.
Thank you.
And he just sort of turns and leaves. Sort of at one point turns to and just goes back to his office.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is going on my blog. This my life journal. I write about all of them. They don't know.
Yes. Live journal in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's coming towards the end of the day now, getting towards 4 or 5 o'clock. Well, the end of the office day for most people.
I think after John left Lee, he would go straight to Father Doyle's church or cathedral, and he would go in and, he enters and he dips his fingers into the dais and does the cross and goes and takes a seat in one of the back pews, and he pulls out his moleskin notebook and he starts going down the list and saying a prayer for each person that he saw. And he, as he gets to the end of today's list, there's a little blurb for whom he calls the little monkey. And what he says that wrote down that she needs most is protection. And he kind of whispers to himself, "Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the malice and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the divine power thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen." And as he says that, his skin, just his form just kind of radiates a little bit and then kind of dims out. And Scrat, with your permission, I would like to roll change the game.
Ooh. So what is your intention with the change the game? What are you trying to change the game to?
I am going to try to place a story status effect on Lee. This will give her a +1 as long as she is afflicted with the status. And the status is going to be Guardian Angel.
Okay, yeah. So I have your card up at the moment. Which power tags would you like to use?
That would be Bastion. He's using the Holy Aura to kind of send this ability to Kiana.
Yep.
Being that she was within some kind of range with him at one point during the day. His aura gives impervious to mortal weapons. So anything that is not forged in some kind of evil magic, hellfire, etc., would not harm her as long as she is affected with the status. But flavor, mechanical wise, it just gives her a +1. Unbreakable. He's going to be touching his St. Michael's charm as he prays. And I'm going to invoke the weakness of overprotective.
Yep.
Which will give attention to my personality logos card of the kind beggar man. She might not need this where she is going, but he sees her follow a lot of people, and a lot of the people he's noticed don't fall in with the right crowd. You know, think of Denzel Washington's character from The Equalizer, the first one, where he notices all of this from his little spot in the diner, you know. So I'm going to do that. I'll be rolling 3 power tags for Change the Game. And it is a great success. Now, I get juice equals power, so I get 3 power.
You do? A minimum of 2 juice? Yep.
I can spend it 1 for 1 to gain the following effects. I'm going to create a story tag on Lee. So, Lee, if you open up your... Well, you're having trouble with Roll20. If you would like to write down on a piece of paper status Guardian Angel, and then what that's going to do is it's going to make a story tag that's going to give you a plus if you're in danger. You know, so we'll kind of give it a little bit of a mechanic. It'll give you a +1 that you can add on to as long as you're within danger that would threaten your life. Let's see. I'm going to prolong the effect. So I'm going to try to have it last for a day. And I think I'm going to spend the other juice to make it that contingency. Any other improvement you and the MC agree on? The contingency that as long as she is in a life-threatening situation, the status will apply. Yeah,
that sounds absolutely perfect. Yeah, or even just danger. If she feels threatened.
Yeah. So there we go. And that's what he does. And then he just sits and waits for Father Doyle's mass. Especially the Christmas Eve one.
Perfect. So our first roll of the campaign, and it was a critical success. That's got to be a good sign, right? So we're probably getting back around towards 7 p.m. time. Is there anything that anyone would like to do before we get there? Clinton's hand, yep.
Yeah, what time is it? 5:56, Clinton walks a bus stop. 6:19, he takes the bus to work.
Today it's 2 minutes late.
Clinton's leg begins to shake a little bit, and he gets on the bus, and his normal seat, third from the back on the left, someone's sitting there. He takes another one, and his leg begins to shake a little bit more. He takes this bus. It actually is not the direct bus. It actually is probably one of the most indirect buses to get to there because people don't usually ride it. He can sit in his seat, but
it's Christmas Eve. The bus is nearly full. Shoppers going home.
So he arrives late at the park. It is 8:04. He was supposed to be there at 8:02. but he has his one slice of bread that he picked up on the way out of the door to feed the ducks. He goes and sits on his bench, if it's available.
It is. It is.
He sits on his bench. There's a just off center, a little bit to the left, is where he likes to sit on the bench, and he feeds the duck. There's the one with the broken toe. Always early, that duck. It always is here right when he gets there. He's been waiting. The duck's been waiting for 2 minutes because he's late. At 8:37, he leaves, having finished off the very last piece, so that there was a piece all the way through the 35 minutes that he was feeding the ducks, so that any latecomers, whatever the last duck was, still would have a piece, and walks to work. He arrives at his job at 8:46. Let me know if I'm pushing my timeline beyond your window.
No, that's absolutely fine. You can arrive 8:46. That's absolutely perfect. We'll pick you up there shortly. So, we come back into the diner. We'll get that diner music going again. As the gentleman there is asking you how your day is, Imogen.
And she just sort of smiles and tries to, pretty normal, trying to make it feel a little bit festive in here, but can't complain. It's all good. It's nice to be kept busy. And how about yourself?
Oh yeah, like I say, the shops it's been Moira today. Moira.
Well, can I get you a coffee or anything? Get yourself, relax a bit before more festivities begin.
Yeah, sure. Do you have a menu? I could really use something to eat.
Yeah, of course I can. And she sort of ducks behind the bar and then quickly pulls up like a very laminated thing where she's drawn like little bits on it to maybe try and make it look a little bit festive, and hands it over.
Yeah, he just looks at it. He looks utterly like flustered by it. He's just like, I'll just have one of those, and a coffee.
Fantastic. And she immediately fills up his coffee and disappears back into the kitchen to make just this cheese and ham type toasted sandwich before coming back out and presenting him with it. And anything else, or would you like me to leave you to it?
No, that's fine, thank you. I'll maybe a top up. He's already drunk.
Yeah, of course. And she just tops right up and then pushes like a little thing of sugar his way.
He doesn't touch the sugar.
She'll probably go back to just double checking people's coffee and topping up and stuff. Keep doing her rounds.
It's getting quieter now. It's getting into late evening. So as we start approaching late evening, what's going on with the rest of you?
I'm trying to finish my hair and makeup for the party. I have decided to go with a red dress. I just like to tease the man.
Oh, sorry. So he said New Year's Eve.
Oh man, I'm so bad with dates. This is going to be embarrassing. No. I'm fine doing that on New Year's Eve. I'm just imagining. There's nothing wrong with that.
Seeing how things go. I understand that.
Yeah, and I like to look. There's lots of beautiful dresses.
So are you at the shops now? They're open late.
Yes.
It's Christmas Eve.
I know. This is the best time to this. Actually, I think Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, is going to be the best day to get the deals. If the dress is still there. Yeah, I think I'm shopping. I like to people watch, and also this is a good time to pick up some information locally. I'm wearing a wire, is what I'm saying.
Of course. Now, what I'm ideally looking for is a time when we all converge in the diner. So, why don't we all quickly agree on a sort of time that we'd all be roughly there, and then see if we can just bring our stories there together.
John would he would stay for the mass, and Father Doyle is this old man, maybe 65, 67. He's been diagnosed with lung cancer. And he would wait for him after mass, because after every mass, him and Father Doyle, John and Father Doyle, head to Imogen's coffee house for a late night coffee before they go their separate ways. John goes back to his alley, and Father Doyle goes back home.
So I'm mainly looking towards Clinton, Mr. Schedule over here, for the time that he's going to be at the diner. I feel like this is going to be very much a matter of being there when he is there, rather than
Does he have a schedule if his schedule goes wrong?
Night shift. No, well, so I was just sort of sitting here thinking I could add. I was going to say he walks past the diner every day between 8:37 and 8:46. Perhaps he stops in every day where Imogen already has a large coffee ready to go for him, and does not basically has the sugar pot and a little cream pot next to it, knowing that he has to put it in himself, but that he doesn't like the to-go packs. He wants to use it, so she has the basically it's set on the counter ready for him as he walks in right at 8:42. Because just double checking, your office is across the street from the diner, or not that it's super important, but how many minutes do you think that the diner, your office diner, is away from the diner? Diner. Sorry,
I'm not very far from there, and I need to stop by there anyways because I wanted to get Imogen a gift since he was completely overwhelmed.
Cool. So the idea of it's 5 minutes away would work.
Mm-hmm.
A 4-minute walk. Yeah. Yep. So that he can arrive at 8:46. So 8:42 he will be there.
I was gonna say Imogen will have the sugar spoon and everything in the exact same position because she's watched him do these things, and just to make it easier for him, she places everything in the exact same position each time, right down to where the spoon handle sits on the pot.
Yeah. And then at 12:06 he has his lunch break where he goes there. So 12:06 a.m.
I think the 8:42 window sounds good. If Dinah's heading there already, Lee, can you fit that in your day?
Oh yeah, it really depends on whoever's coming out of the casino. She's not gonna follow the big guy, but she's gonna wait, sitting on this windowsill still, watch people go in and out, and wait until she sees Vincenzo come out, and whoever's with him, and then follow whoever was with him as they part ways.
Okay, so you will see several people coming in and out of the establishment. Several of them, ladies and gentlemen of questionable career choices. Perhaps some similar to your own, perhaps some more taboo, some not.
Alternate career choices.
Alternate. Yes, that's a much better way of putting it. You'll see Vincenzo maybe at 8:32, Quinton. He leaves with a thin man. This man's almost gaunt. He's got slick black hair, and he's wearing a black suit that is very old and slightly too loose for him, like it used to fit him when he was better. Of course, Vincenzo himself walks out. He's wearing a pinstripe. He's got the weight of wealth on him. Slightly jowled of the cheek, a thin beard rings his mouth, and you're too far to hear, but you see him sort of have one hand on his shoulder, and he's just sort of doing this sort of thing, talking to him, and then he taps him on the shoulder, slaps his cheek, and says, "Go on, get out of here." And this thin guy walks off down the road as Vincenzo gets in a limo and drives away.
Yeah, so as soon as she sees the limo go, she's been taking notes this entire time, like in this kind of basically a school notebook, as she's been sitting on this windowsill. And as soon as she sees this, they split off, and the Thin Man just start walking down the road. She kind of just parkours her way down. She slides off of the windowsill onto and just grabs the the ladder that's right by there that she knows, and she kind of just hops onto the dumpster from there and jumps off again, not a lot of sound to it. And as she jumps back into the snow on the ground and just starts trailing this guy, keeping much of the shadow now that it's darker.
So he's
outside.
very walking. He's got like a tight sort of apologetic stance as he walks. His gait's quite small. He'll step aside for people, so that he very much takes the inferior when walking. Most people don't seem to notice him, not in the same way that they don't notice you, not in the same way that they don't notice John. He's just insignificant, despite his smart looks. A couple of people maybe glance at his suit. He's got like instead of a handkerchief in his pocket, he has a flower. And he's sort of walking apologetically, sort of like moving through the streets until he walks into the diner.
Quick question. Because Zulian has been saying that she's been trialing this guy for a lot. Is it your regular routine to perch in that windowsill?
No.
Or is this
not.
I'm sorry, that was the old person. This is a new person you're
This
after.
is a new person.
Sorry, never mind.
No worries. But like, I feel like their paths might have crossed at some point. So like, if something is disrupting his schedule,
But regular. It's regular. If it's something that regularly there is a girl sits in the thing, the girl is in the window. She'll be leaving in 15 minutes. Type thing is where I want to take.
No, she hasn't established this routine yet.
Okay.
So she actually,
or for your previous mark.
Yeah. So she watches the Thin Man walk in, and she counts a minute and a half, and then she walks in.
Okay. So these people walk into your establishment, Imogen. Everyone's there.
And it's all gone quite quiet until they've come in, and she's just like, "Hi, like, take a seat, make yourself comfortable." And then she sort of spots Dinah and is just like, "Hello again. Have you got your Christmas shopping done?"
Yes, and I got a few things for you if you don't mind.
Oh.
And I've got like 6 packages. I'm like, all right. So I happen to notice your shoes are size X, and here they are. And by X, I mean substitute whatever the correct number is. I have perfect spatial reasoning. I can figure this out. And I also got you a, it's kind of a silly thing, but have you heard of the Nintendo 64? Do you have kids, children?
I have a cat, but yes, I have heard of that. Oh my.
Your cat is going to love it.
64 bits of pure goodness.
Yes. And I got you Bomberman 64, Mario 64, and I also got you a really cool game called the Ocarina of Time. It's a Zelda game. Those are really fun. The dungeons are
like, she doesn't really know what to do, and it's like she doesn't hug you, but she's like...
And then I'm like, and I made sure that you got 4 controllers, because you're going to need to make sure that you can play all these multiplayer games. And if you don't have like 4 people, like I've included my number, a gift card to Sears Roebuck, so you can get yourself something nice, and liquor. I don't know what you drink, so I kind of bought all of them.
Oh, like, she's speechless. She's just like, this is too kind. I can't. Oh, my. thank you. Like, and she sort of, again, it's like almost like an awkward pat on the shoulder. She's not very good at.
Yeah, and I kind of like, you can tell I kind of like wince when I'm touched, and it's kind of like, and
She
I
immediately retracts, like.
they're there. No, they're there. It's fine. Merry Christmas, Imogen. I really appreciate you waiting on me every day of the year, and I noticed that you are seriously understaffed, and if there's anything we can do to help, I'm giving you a card. It's not my card, it's a card. And I pull out a card from the law firm. There's a number on it. Call that number, tell them what you need. They'll take care of it.
And she looks at it sort of, thank you. Why don't you sit down? I'll get your coffee.
I also have something for the manager, and I pull out a large puffy envelope. There's a VHS inside, and so this is for the manager. If he's here, I'm supposed to hand it over to him specifically and him directly. Nobody else.
He's not here at the moment, but I can. Would you like me to take it and put it aside for you, or?
The manager was supposed to pick up at 8 so that Imogen could go home. Like you say, it's currently about 8:42. He rang again saying, "Oh yeah, no, sorry, traffic's terrible. I'll be there in an hour."
This traffic.
Yeah, he's been saying it's traffic since about 9 a.m.
I normally close up anyway. He doesn't tend to. And then she realizes she's almost like bad mouthing about it. But I'm sure he'll be here any minute now. Why don't you take a seat and I'll get your coffee.
Thank you.
Clinton, it's time.
Yeah, Clinton walks in, walks directly over to the counter. The coffee is there. Puts in, dollop, 1, 2, 3, dollop. Basically measures out with a spoon. Spoon puts it back down. Sort of nods to Imogen. How about that weather?
Bit chilly outside today, yeah. And she just sort of smiles, gives him a nice smile that she normally does.
Going and putting the top back on, picking it up.
As you mention the weather, the door blows open. A gust of snow blows into the diner. And the door sort of like bangs closed again afterwards. But the wind has sort of brought with it this strange fog, almost like a mist that's just hanging around at floor level and sort of expanding into the room.
Clinton's hand starts involuntary tapping on the tabletop, on the countertop, as he is sort of looking around and just is looking like he's getting ready to bolt.
Imogen is sort of rushed over, like, oh, yeah, thinking like, oh, see a big wind, so it's like snow and stuff come in from it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
but
so
you almost can't see the snow now. Like, this fog's low, but it's so thick. You're all in the diner now, right? Everyone's in there?
Yeah.
And it seems to just slowly rise. Slowly enveloping you all in this mist.
Imogen starts backing up.
What is regular here? John, are you always here at this time? Do you usually? Yeah,
John would be sitting in his booth with Father Doyle, and as soon as the door opens and slams shut, the conversation that they were having just about philosophy and whatnot just kind of stops, and he is watching the mist. And then he's watching the door as it rises. He goes for the cigarette that he tucked away in his ear just in case, and he's twirling it in his fingers. And he's on edge because this is weird. This is fog just doesn't move into this space as if it was like smoke.
Mhm.
This is
Hey.
weird to him.
Dinah, while certainly every day is not Christmas Eve, have you done a similar gift giving to Imogen every year at Christmas time?
No. This
So
is only because
different.
she was screwed the other day.
Okay, this is different. Zulian's not later here. That's different. Okay, I'm just checking my surroundings.
The Finn guy that Lee Julan followed in, he's often in the diner. He has a sporadic schedule, but some weekdays he's here.
At this time when I come in.
You'd recognize him. He's there regular enough for Clinton to take note of him, I would say.
Okay, regular enough to take notice, and maybe hasn't worked out a true schedule yet. Okay.
Did somebody enter with the fog?
No one entered with the fog. The fog's just slowly coming up. It's now probably up to about like shoulder height, and it's just enveloping all of you.
Is this like thick fog from a like a fog machine or something?
It seems like that. It seems like if you've ever been in a valley when the valley mist is there and you can't see your hand from there. It's like that, except it seems to be rising like some sort of water level. It's bizarre.
Like Imogen's sort of almost swiping at it to see if it clears when she
Duh.
away.
This is a clear health hazard. I'm going to kind of try breathing through my purse. No. Spearmint gum.
How about Lee?
She's not taking her eyes off of the thin man during all of this.
He looks very wide-eyed, almost cartoonish, the way that he's looking around at the mist, completely confused.
Does Imogen have any kind of industrial fryer or stove?
Other than the stuff in the kitchen.
So what the reason why I ask is because most of those stuff come with over the stove exhaust fans. And if that's the case, John might think that this is some kind of like fire or something that's toxic, and his friend Father Doyle has lung cancer, so his breathing is already strained enough as it is. So he's going to get up and he's going to quietly and silently start moving towards the kitchen to attempt to flip the switch on the exhaust fan.
And
So
Imogen starts opening the windows like, oh, well, I'm sure it'll clear in a minute. Like,
So,
almost like...
As you move over towards the window, the smoke rises above head level, and everyone is plunged into this misty darkness. You walk probably the 6 or 7 steps to the window, 8 steps, 9 steps, 10 steps. The window's not this far away.
Like, she's got her hands out, like, trying to, like, she's very confused by the fact that she's not quite at the wall yet.
So, like, you guys who are sitting in booths and stuff, like, you can still feel the booths and everything that you're in contact with, but you can't see anything now. It's like a whiteout, complete whiteout.
at that point, John would snap his fingers. And as he does, just a little white flame appears on the tip of his thumb. This is a very calming light, a very pure light, but he's trying to see if it reacts to the flame, see if he can move it away or kind of start pushing the fog.
So when you light the your thumb up, the mist doesn't move away from the flame. If anything, it sort of swirls around it, embracing it. It doesn't really give you any sort of useful effect, but everyone else, you will see this soothing light, this beacon light up in the mist. You can see this light, which may well, interpret it as you will.
Is the cream pot and the sugar bowl still on the countertop? Can I still feel the countertop? Can I still...
When you put your hand out for the countertop is gone.
Okay.
Similarly, anything you lose contact with, tables, anything else, when you lose contact with it, it's gone.
Michael will call out Father. Father? Are you still here? Father Doyle?
No response.
Do we hear it?
Everyone here in this chat hears it.
Imogen sort of calls out. She's like, would she know John's name?
She knows John.
She knows John. So she'd just be like, John, are you still in here? Are you seeing it? And she sort of tries to make her way towards the voice.
He says, I lit a match. Come over to
that's
the
you?
to the light.
Okay, and she sort of tries to reach out and get towards you.
He's gonna reach out a hand towards where he hears the voice, and attempts that if they feel each other, they will grasp like a lifeline.
I was gonna say, if she feels like his hand, she will grab hold of it firmly.
And the rest of you will hear this as well.
Clinton starts walking towards the familiar voice of the waitress, and I'm going to be late.
I feel like in this case, sir, that time has no meaning.
What the hell? I'm taking PTO today. It's paid time off. They owe me.
Imogen senses that Clint is quite nervous. She's like, you won't be late. We're absolutely fine. Just need to figure out what this is and get out.
As more of them gather, he's going to take off his scarf. It looked like he had many scarves on, but it's all just one big scarf. And he starts passing it down. And he's like, "Here, wrap this around your wrist. If we get, it will keep us from getting lost or separated."
John, I can hear your voice. Do I really need to wrap your clothing around me?
Miss, we have lost all sense of direction. I feel.
Sorry.
Nothing. We've lost all sense of direction. We just need something to just keep ourselves connected, so we don't lose each other.
Are we important to each other?
Everyone's important. Is Kiana and is Lee in the diner as well?
Yeah, at this point you probably hear a very quiet shit as she has lost track. And she has definitely stood up and made like a couple steps towards where she saw the thin man the last time. Yeah, so you just shit.
John calls out. He doesn't know your name, but he has you as a nickname in his book called Little Monkey. So he's going to be calling out, Little Monkey. Little Monkey, are you here?
And probably like, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the young woman that I see jumping and swinging around from rooftops and walls and fire escapes, landing on my trash can once in a while to the tune of a loud noise that wakes me up.
You're referring to Ms. Lee?
I don't know. I just know her as the Little Monkey.
The mist peels back. you are in the middle of a street.
Shit.
Anything that you are still in contact with, booths, chairs, anything like that, they are still there in the middle of the street. However, the town around you does not look the same. The snow is glistening with the orange warm light of fires, as you can see around you a city in complete disarray. You can see your office building, Dinah, smashed and broken. It looks as though maybe a flying vehicle, perhaps a helicopter or something, has flown into it. There's fires licking all around the building. The church that John frequents, also you can see the cross has sort of been pulled down. There's graffiti all over the walls, and fires burn outside. Clinton, this is utter chaos. The park, the factory, you can almost see, it's this weird illusion where wherever you sort of look, things do this weird shift and change, so you can see the things that you look towards. So when you look towards the park, it sort of enlarges towards you, and you can see there are no ducks. The park bench has been overturned. The factory itself is empty, derelict. There's a thug standing at the gate instead of a guard.
I want to roll.
What do you want to roll?
I'm not sure. I guess it's investigate. I think I want to do investigate.
What is the action that you're thinking of doing? Like,
I'm about to describe it.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's investigate.
All right.
Clinton sees this overnight, right? And his brain tries to find order. What buses are where? Are there buses on the street? What bus is at what location? How far is it away from where it would have been when it would have stopped? He looks for clocks. What's the time on the clocks, even though they're destroyed? Did they have a last time on them? What can he do to identify what time and what day by what is on what schedule where?
Okay.
And
that does sound like an investigate to me. So what power tags do you think you could use to help you in this endeavor?
So this is going to get crazy. So cog in the machine, he's going to use good at repetitive tasks, keen sense of time, and can identify routines. I think he's got all of them there.
Yeah.
However, he's going to suffer from the weakness because this is a surprise.
Yes.
Facing the crowd, I don't think he has anything there. He's not really. You tell me whether he should be considered confronted at this point.
No, I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's. You don't feel confronted. I think that's probably very much about people being in your space, and there's nothing here. Like
so, unknown to him, lurking within him, his logos kicks in as well, because it wants to know what's going on too. The gremlin inside of him that loves chaos, that wants to see the chaos in the world, has an easy time with complex system, and there's no more complex system than trying to piece all this together. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's great at flaw identification, finding out where the flaws are. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think once attention for his work goes in here, and yeah, the other ones don't. But so I'm thinking it's that. Yeah. Did I do this right? This is my first time.
Yeah, this is 100% right.
Yeah, so you're gathering information, even if it's not for any purpose, but for yourself to find order. That sounds like an investigation role to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Investigation.
And bringing in the power tags, it's all about as long as you can make it relevant. Jobs are good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I throw weakness in there too, because I know
Oh,
that's
okay. So what weakness is that?
That's the surprise on cog in the machine. So you can also add one step of attention to your cog in the machine card.
Oh,
When-
okay.
Whenever you guys use your weaknesses, remember to mark attention, because at 3 attentions, that card gets an improvement.
Which you
Like
can see on the flip
you
side.
level up. Yeah, the card levels up and gains a new ability.
Okay. So now I just press investigate, and
Yep.
Mhm.
Bob's your uncle. Okay. Great success.
On a great success on an investigation. So you let's give you a straight answer or a solid lead.
So I can ask you.
Yeah. So you, yeah, indeed, you get 4 questions.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is Clinton, so he's all about. And tell me, I mean, if I'm go too far of just flat out spoiling stuff, I don't know. I mean, what day is it? Can he figure out what day it is, or around what day it is? Season day.
Yes.
What flowers are blooming, whatever type idea. How
Yes.
he's trying to nail down the day, time, season, whatever.
You see a large clock. Its hands are pointing at 1 minute to midnight. You can see countdown clocks everywhere. The sort of like Mickey Mouse clocks that they bring out for the millennium every year, but this year they've put lots of extra flamboyance on them. Everyone's going all hell loose. It looks like this could be New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Is there something out of place? Specific? Does there seem to be something that, taking into account it's New Year's Eve of the millennium.
Uh-huh.
He's been, through however many New Year's Eves of his life, knowing that how they usually set up this area. Is there something that he thinks in this complex machine that is really definitively wrong, out of place?
Yes.
Misplaced.
Vehicles overturned in the street, buses crashed into lampposts. There's absolute carnage where all the parties should be. There's furniture overturned. There's almost no one around, but you can see the after effects of like a riot, as though this isn't the work of a small group. This is the actions of everyone.
Okay. So
everyone is acting out of sequence in that sense.
Chaos. Okay.
If you
want, you can share your clues with everyone else as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll give. If anyone else, I have 2 more questions, you guys. That maybe that you point. If you think if we want to role play it out as that you mention something that then Clinton pays attention to, is able to put the clues together, I guess. New system. Woo. If anyone can think of things. So we got time, we got place. So we are outside the offices near the diner. Yes.
Yeah, it's very strange. Maybe Dinah might recognize this feeling of maybe some of your own powers. Maybe you don't. But you're standing in a place which is sort of almost slightly outside of space and time. So when nothing is moving around you, but when you look, things appear in your vision. It's very malleable, almost like you're controlling what you see. So when you're looking for clues, they come into your face.
Okay. Here's I mean, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Are you fine individuals just trying to do you want to feel safe?
I want to be on schedule.
Trying to feel safe. You feel unsafe right now.
I reach for my St. Michael's charm, and I kind of hold it in my hand.
Slowly.
Why should I reach slowly?
Quick movements. I might respond hastily. Things like that.
Oh. Okay.
Where is everyone?
Oh yeah. Do we see the bodies?
This is. Like, I was gonna say, is there anyone there? Is this empty?
Devoid of people.
What I suggest is we go to my offices. I have a key. I have access, and we have. Look, there's places you can sit, and I can access the database, get onto the World Wide Web, and see what's going on.
We're in hell. There's no internet in hell.
No, it's just very slow.
Sheila is probably like standing there, just like looking around. She's like, "What the fuck?"
If we're going to your office, we're staying together.
We can stay together. It's just.
Is there much office left? Like, and she's like looking up at the building.
Yeah. I'm looking at. I'm looking down the way.
Yeah, the building grows in front of you.
Mhm.
There's still an entrance and an exit. You could still gain access to the building easily.
Yeah, I'd like to go into the building. Come along. I tug on the scarf. Come on, guys. Let's go.
As you take a step, you are there.
Ooh. Oh, that.
Ooh.
Time flies.
Well, yeah. So, no, that's Clinton's not. That's not right. That's not right. But does it clue him in that this is not real? Maybe that this is a vision.
If you feel that would help Clinton get through this, you can do. The only thing I will mention is the only way. Well, not the only way. One of the ways you can gain cracks on your logos and divination is if you do something that's out of character. If you feel like it's something that they're doing because they feel forced to and it's out of character, you can mark cracks. And cracks, when you get free cracks, you swap a card for the opposite card. So a logos for a mythos or a mythos for a logos. And you can have a period of downtime where there isn't one in between as well. So just bear that in mind if you're feeling forced into actions.
So I want to enter the office. Inside the office, is there anyone here? Is it empty? Are the computers online?
So as you are moving around, it's literally wherever you think to go, you take a step and you are there.
Okay.
Before people start tugging and leaving go of the scarf, John's going to start mumbling the prayer to Saint Michael once more, and when he finishes, he's going to try to apply the same status that he gave to Kiena on to anybody who's in contact with the scarf.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the same roll as earlier. I think same power tag, same weakness.
Yep. Well, not the weakness, because I feel like he doesn't think he's being overprotective right now. Because I feel like it's justifiable why he wants to be protective. So we're gonna roll change the game, and I got a great success. I got 4 powers, and that 1 for Dino, 1 for Imogen, 1 for Clint. So that's 3, and I'm going to. Well, actually, one power to create the status of Guardian Angel, 1 to do the same thing where when they're in danger, that's when the bonus kicks in. So that's 2. 1 to scale up the effect, greater area or more targets. So anybody's in contact with the scarf. And 4, I'm sorry, is going to be prolong the effect. So he's going to try to make it last a day.
Okay. That seems very reasonable to me. So yeah, you guys all feel maybe this. Do they get any sort of sensory effect or?
It's a calming. It's like if you currently feel lost, or if you feel frightened, you feel like you got somebody on your side. You know, like you have a hand on your shoulders. You know, giving you that feeling of it's gonna be all right.
So that'll be a story tag for all of you that you can use as a plus. Yeah. Okay, so
make it a 1.
Yep, just 1.
What I was saying on the little slider bar gas thing. Is that how those work?
Okay, so do you see the So you
I made a story
the statuses.
Guardian Angel. Do I use the little slider bar of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
You can, but it doesn't have different stages. So if you click the thing that looks like a price tag on it should say story tag. click the plus at the very bottom, because there should be a minus on the left side and
Gotcha,
plus
okay.
on the right side. And then just right where it says tag,
Guardian
right,
Angel.
Guardian Angel.
Got it.
And
Cool.
what that should do is, if you click the plus, you should be able to add it in as a +1. If not, you can manually go up to taking an action where it says plus
Gotcha.
and hit the up button to just force a plus on it.
Cool.
So if your powers are 3 and you force a +1, it'll roll it as if there was 4.
So let's snap back into the office if you guys are all clear on that.
I just want to double check. This is the building I clean, right? We've determined that this is the building I clean, or no?
This is the building that Dinah works in.
Right. I didn't know whether you had made it that the building she works in is also the building I clean. I don't know.
Could be a head office. Maybe you're used to working in the factory, but this is a head
Yeah.
office. You'll head here,
It's
maybe.
sort of a complex. Yeah, that this is like where the executives sit and.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay, but yeah, it's not where he normally goes. So yeah, he's off base.
Dinah, I believe you're leading.
Yes. So first thing what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if there's any briefings, notes that anyone's left on any desks, anything anyone's written on the whiteboard, to check to see if there's any sort of immediate memos. Then the next thing I want to do is access the World Wide Web and see what's going on in the neighborhood.
Mhm. So the whiteboards and all of these things, there's nothing really. There's paper sort of blowing in this breeze. There's a large crack through the window where wind is blowing in and mist is sort of curling around the window.
Okay. I'm checking the Mr. Johnson's offices. I'm checking the head partner's offices. Is there anyone there?
No one there. All the PCs are powered down. But there's a little, one of the little old CRT 14-inch tellies in the corner. One of the ones that you'd use for CCTV. And as you guys enter, it flicks on and sort of does the white noise.
Is it just ant races on the CCTV?
Yeah, the whole snow effect, just static, basically. Until the image rolls up 5 or 6 times like a video skipping, trying to get tracking, and it holds on a scene. It looks like a security camera placed outside the back of the casino. You see a man in white, a white suit, well tailored, wearing a hat that masks his features from the camera, talking to Vincenzo. The man draws a gun and fires. And Vincenzo falls down in a heap on the floor.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. We've got to go help him. Heavy breaths, and I'm checking the cabinets. Is there a first aid kit in it? There should be. We've got to go help him.
9 minutes.
Pick up
9
the phone.
minutes. You get to the.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, the way you move. Is there a dial tone on the phone?
No. Phone is completely dead.
All right, bye. And I'm running there. Head on.
As you are thinking to be there, you arrive there.
Okay. I'm calling out, Vincenzo, are you okay? You've been hit? Are you awake?
There are no people. But on the floor, there is a pool of blood.
Were we all pulled there, or just Dinah? Just asking.
Up to you guys.
Dinah, did you leave go of the scarf?
Only if you guys were slagging behind.
Well, I guess if you started moving as if to go towards it, we would have all been rubber banded to you.
Yeah, it's still wrapped to my wrist.
So.
Yeah. So if I'm understanding this effect correctly, and
You still have 2 questions as well. You can bank those.
oh, I will bank them. But if I'm understanding this correctly, and I'm trying to, the way that Clinton's mind works, his world is steps and cogs. I think Clinton starts walking there because his mind is every crack on the sidewalk, every place that he passes by. If him thinking of getting there would be every step that takes to get him there. So I think he starts walking. You know, if we were going there, I don't know.
Mhm. No, so
I think he walks.
It's like
Clinton,
trying to.
I need you here, Clinton. I need your brain. I need you to memorize everything here. This is a crime scene. Crimes occurred here. You need to take it in. Where's Clinton?
Imogen also is not necessarily going there. She's more intrigued by what is going on around. It's completely thrown.
You guys don't have to stick together. You can split up if you want to.
Well, I need Clinton. Until he gets here, I'm going to take some photographs of this pool of blood and the immediate scenes. Are there any footprints that are leading anywhere? Any sign of any traffic in or out of this location?
So at the end of the alleyway, there's a dustbin turned over.
Okay.
But there's no sign of vehicles down here. There's no sign of like bloody footprints. No sign of a discarded gun.
Is the dustbin, is it set up in a fashion so someone could jump over a fence, or is it just dressing?
It's slightly dented. It looks like something might have hit it on the way out of the alley.
Okay. Is the dent, does it look like it could have been made by an automobile or something smaller?
I'd say, why don't you roll us an investigate roll and see if we can get you a few more questions. I'm sort of burning into Clinton's.
Yeah, Shulon definitely was Dinah at this point as well. She had, even though not being connected.
I know who you are.
I
wrote your file, Lee.
John would try to stay next to Lee. She's young, and this is a world that is hell.
Okay, so the 3 of you arrive on the scene. Clinton begins walking, memorizing every part of the thing. The world almost becomes solid where you look. If you're like looking down, you can bring a sort of peace to yourself as everything is as it should be, the way you know it. You're muted, Tuzgor.
I think even if it's destroyed, it is, this is in place, this is out of place, this is out of place. You know, this is where this should be, this is where that should be. Here's the, here's where the newsstand in, beginning of the park, 2 paths to the left, I mean, he's...
Yeah, walk around the upturned car, all of that sort of
right,
business.
Exactly. Cars in the wrong place, exactly.
Imogen is following Clinton, like keeping a distance to allow him to do his thing, basically. And she's very aware of, because she watches him basically every day.
Okay.
She wants to see if he notices something
I'll
rather
be
than looking herself.
back with you two just shortly. Let's go back to
Yeah,
Dinah.
We called for a roll, and it was an investigate roll. And is this where we determine what
Power tags.
the mind? Okay. So here's a few things that might add. I'm a trained criminologist and criminal scientist. I'm skilled in having an eye for details, profiling criminals, logical deduction. I have perfect spatial sense. With something's out of place or measuring distances and determining directions.
So if you click on the tick boxes as you go.
I'm trying to determine first which ones.
So far, all of the ones you've mentioned.
So, but here's a little bit of more of my mythos side. I'm able to predict foes' movements and determine more or less where they're going, as well as I'm able to access premonitions and see sort of visions of things that may happen. If you think of it, I'm like a chess supercomputer that can look 50 moves ahead of the rest of the game. However, all it takes is one thing to throw all that predictive math off. So
you're very right in that normally you would get to use that one. However, what I'll tell you now is this is the premonition.
Oh, wow.
You realize
do I
as you
like-
try and access that power, you can't. It's already active. It's like trying
Okay.
to turn on a computer that's already on.
Got it. So I'm invoking my weakness that I don't have my graphing calculator at hand.
Mhm.
That's normally what I use to do the deep analysis. And but I think my logical deduction, eyes for details, and criminal profiling will take place. And then I click the investigate button.
Possibly. What about possibly research as well?
I think the challenge with research is that's more the way it would look in the fiction of the world is I'm digging into paperwork, I'm checking receipts, I'm checking phone records. It's something that would take more time. I think this is more, I've come to a scene. There are things in the scene that are not correct. They are wrong here. This is not the what we'll call the steady state of the world. In this location, there's a pool of blood. That blood came there because it left a human body. Something had to cause it to come out of a human body. So I'm kind of trying to discern and pick apart the story, so to speak, of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, you can roll the investigate button, click the investigate button, and you can also draw attention to your master of the game card. You just click on the first
Okay.
bar there.
So I had a great success, a result of 11, and a power of 4.
Yeah, so with the power of 4, you get 4 clues. So we've already got that the bin's been hit by something on the way out of the alleyway. So 3 more.
Okay. Is that the direction they went?
Yes. That can be part of the same one. You've still got 3.
Okay. Is there any am I able to discern the type of tire tread that could have possibly gone through dust, debris, mud, dirt, anything, excrement, anything that would be back here in this back alley?
Mm-hmm. So as you look, you can see the slight skid of a burnout, as though someone's slammed the accelerator down as they've pulled away, and the tread marks that are left in this very short line before before they've regained control of the wheels. Looks like the same sort of tread as a large commercial luxury vehicle, potentially a limo.
Okay. So I have one more question.
2 more questions.
Oh, okay. Am I able to discern if the body left with the car?
So as you look at the body, you're used to looking at splatter analysis.
Okay, I heard there was a pool of blood. I wasn't sure if the body was.
Yeah, no,
still
the
there.
body wasn't there. Sorry. So where you're looking, where the body should be, you're used to looking at the splatter analysis of the blood. It looks like the body was left to bleed there for a long time.
Okay.
There's a very sizable pool of blood, many liters.
Okay. And
You can share your questions with the people with you. So you've got Lee and John with you. If you want to get another aspect, you could look to them.
I'll give it to Lee.
Okay. Hmm. Oh no, I don't know.
You can talk about it. You guys can talk it
Yeah.
through. You don't have to just come up with questions. It's
Yeah.
very.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So we know what direction they're headed. We know the body was kind of just left here. We know that the vehicle was likely some sort of luxury vehicle.
How long has the blood been sitting there?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or it would be like how long
Since the
Since
body
this
was
blood-
left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how long has the body's been gone?
About 4 hours.
Wow.
so it's not recent.
Nope. Hmm. Okay. There's no signs of the body being taken. It was just left there. So is this right by a back door or a something
Yeah.
like that?
Sort of like maybe the back entrance to the casino, fire exit, emergency exit.
Is it locked?
It's wide open.
Yeah, Shulan's just gonna tug the door and just like poke her head in.
Excellent. And as you do that, we're just going to pan across to Imogen and Clinton. As you guys are walking towards the casino, would either of you be looking out for clocks or anything like that?
I would, in fact, I thought of a third question as I keep investigating.
Uh-huh.
We know the main clock stopped at 1 minute to midnight. What time is it now?
All of the clocks are stopped at 1 minute to midnight, but
Okay.
go ahead.
As
you take each step, the clock moves back a minute. 2 minutes to. 3 minutes to.
Clinton turns around and starts walking backwards.
Goes back.
Yep, that's Clinton. It was. I don't know if he was expecting anything, but he's freaked out. Eventually, when he realizes that things aren't where they're supposed to be, he turns back around. But
well, actually, as you keep walking, you will see one of these overturned vehicles that's careened off into a lamppost. As you take a step, it sort of like shifts.
like reverse time.
Yeah.
Time moving backwards as we're walking.
Uh-huh.
Do I spot this?
Yes.
She sort of looks at Clinton and goes, take a few more steps back.
It's when you step forward, sorry.
Oh, step forward. She's like, step forward.
So, wait, I'm sorry. When I walked backwards, time went forwards. When I walked forwards, time went backwards.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm clear.
Yeah.
Can I go over to the car?
Well, it's sort of speeding away from you as you step towards it.
Okay.
This seems like a silly wasted question, but maybe not. Are there any animals in the park? We know that all the humans are missing. Are the animals there? The ducks.
I was going to say, can you hear any birds?
So how is Clinton checking this? Are you taking that like almost teleporting leap there, or are you?
I mean, as I walk through the park,
Yeah.
as I'm walking, because as I was doing my schedule, just because of me, what you said that I might be able to see, I assume that the park is either outside or near the casino, between the casino and the diner.
Uh-huh.
So walking across the park is
Part of the
sort
route
of
there. Yeah.
on the way there. As he walks, maybe even by the bench that he normally sits on, are the ducks there? Are there any animals around?
No signs of life.
Are the flame? Okay, so this will be my last question. So no sign of life, of any life, and I look to seeing this weirdness with time, I stop. I kind of look at Alice. I'm sorry. I look at the waitress, and do you stop as well?
And she stops.
I look to anything that's burning. Are the flames burning or are they frozen?
They're burning. But whenever you take a step, they diminish.
But if I step, so they're not frozen when I'm stopped. They're going forward when I walk backwards, but they're going backwards when I walk forwards.
Yes.
Okay.
I assume
I just look to the waitress.
walk forward to see what happened. And she's just sort of looking forward and takes steps, but very slowly.
So, as you exit the park and get onto the main road where the casino is, them last few steps towards the casino, everything seems to click back into what Clinton would recognize as the normal city. Nothing's out of place, everything's back to normal, except up the road, standing in front of a white low-slung Mercedes, is the man in white from the video camera. Next to him is a large fuse. He...
Like fuse on a firework.
Like a fuse on a firework, or
okay, not like an electrical fuse.
Not like an electrical fuse. No, like a fuselage for TNT or anything like that. He lights a match, takes a toke on a cigar as he lights a cigar with a match, drops the match on the fuse. The fuse begins to move, and the mist rushes towards all of you. All of you, everyone. The mist envelops you again, this time suddenly, hitting you like a wall as it terrains through whichever scene you are in. And all of you reappear, sitting at a booth in the diner, back in normal time.
And Imogen looks around like she just shifts her eyes, like so she sat in a booth even though she was stood up originally.
Is Father Doyle there?
Father Doyle is looking at the booth. He's looking down towards you.
Did I go anywhere?
So you guys are all together in this booth, sat next to each other.
So that...
I don't sit in booths. If Clinton's on the edge, he gets out and goes and sits on his normal stool that he does for his lunch break.
Oh, I hope he's trapped in. That's the worst for someone.
He is actually over by the window.
I'm fine if he's trapped in, but I don't sit in booths and just trying to scoot out.
Yeah, you've got two people between you and the walkway.
Imogen immediately stands up and brushes herself off and sort of goes over to the window and just looks outside. And sort of reaches out just to make sure it's there.
John looks at Father Doyle and asks, "Have I been here the entire time?"
Yes, you just got up and walked down there. You all walked into the booth together. You can see the thin man as well, Lee. He's not looking at anyone there. He's just acting normally, as is the customer who came in earlier ordering food.
Clinton looks at his watch. What time is it?
It's 1 minute further on than where you were.
So it's 8:43.
John, I assume that the diner has preset cutlery, just in case somebody sits down and wants to order.
Yeah, can
do. So he's gonna take the butter knife. He's going to get up, and he's going to walk out the
looks like we got a new
front door, and starts heading towards the casino.
Okay, and the rest of you?
Can Clinton get out yet? I need to get to work.
Are you guys gonna let everyone leave?
I was gonna say, because Imogen was just sort of saying, like, whoa.
Okay, I stop at the door. If she's going to say something,
like from the window straight in front of me. She's like, "Where are you going?"
I'm going to the casino.
For what reason?
There was a man who was killed.
I am aware.
I'll pay you for the cutlery. It'll take
I
me a
don't need
while.
payment.
You're gonna go stop a killing with a butter knife.
I'm with her on this one.
Yes, I'm going to go stab somebody with a butter knife.
I just want to go to work.
Okay, well, hang on. What just happened?
I don't know, but there was a reason why there was a reason why that was revealed to us. Maybe it's some kind of divine predetermination, fate, whatever. But I am going to go save that man if I can.
Extremely educated, John Doe. Fine arts degree.
I can't remember.
How do we even know that it's happening now? It's Christmas Eve, not
7 days and 49 minutes.
what he said.
Numbers.
It happens in
He's-
7 days and 49 minutes.
He's good with numbers. He's right.
Hmm. I'm going there regardless. You can't keep me here.
I'm not planning on keeping you here. Sorry, she sort of backs out the way a little bit. She's like, just... I don't understand what's going on. And
I look at Lee, and he twirls the cutlery in his fingers almost as instinct, like it's second nature. Just kind of just spins it around. Then he points at Lee and he says, "Where were you going earlier today?"
Nothing. None of your business.
Where were you going? You were headed off. Were you headed towards the casino?
I was going for a walk.
You follow people. What is it that you do?
That's none of your business.
You follow people who are dangerous. What is it that you do?
Like you said, I follow people who are dangerous, I guess.
Not that dangerous.
She definitely, like, Shulam definitely looks at Dinah at this point. How do you know my name?
Just so you're all aware as well, you can make rolls against each other. So if you want to investigate each other, you can.
Clinton just wants to know if his coffee's on the bar. Is his coffee still on the bar?
You can see your coffee steaming on the bar.
I was going to say she would have quickly, knowing how awkward he felt, immediately put one up there.
All I'm saying is Mr. Doe does not have a badge nor the authority to be asking these questions of Ms. Lee.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. It's none of my business. Be careful.
But Ms. Lee, do you follow dangerous people? And what is it that you do?
It's none of your business. Why you so...
It is.
So it seems
literally
like
my business.
it seems like you guys want to find information about Lee, but Lee doesn't want to give up the information. If you want to,
so
No.
I'm going to try to roll investigation against Lee. And she seems like she seems like a good person, like deep down kind of deal. And John sensed that, he senses her, I don't know, innocence. No, maybe. He has a knack for being able to judge a good character, and he places a hand on, not on her shoulder, but maybe like on the booth back near her, and he kind of bends down and he says, who are you following? You normally follow people. Who were you following today? Was it the man outside the casino? and he's going to roll a good. He's going to use his personality, Logos book, good judge of character. He's going to use the weakness overprotective because he's forcefully prying into Lee's personal life. But he feels like the history with Father Doyle and him, Father Doyle would want me to protect this youth, if she's getting herself into into dangerous situations. So I'm going to be using the defining relationship that Father Doyle, since Father Doyle is present, he is strengthening my resolve to find out this information.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. I got. Wait. Was that
miss? Yeah.
Okay.
Miss. So on a miss, unfortunately, you don't get any clues. And I'm not going to invoke any penalties on you. So Lee doesn't want to talk. You're not able to discern anything at this moment.
Maybe he was asking questions with a mouthful of food. Just...
Clinton?
While this is all happening, can I roll just to sneak out the front door? Work.
Yeah, sure. So let's go over to your character sheet. What would you like to do to try and sneak past?
Hard to notice, assumed harmless, and actually my logos will kick in and do phase through solid matter. But I also know that there are people paying attention, so I'm saying I'm using the weakness tag of hard to act while directly observed.
Yep, that seems good.
I don't think there's anything else that I'd be able to use.
Okay, so let's have it.
Unless I could use keen sense of time, as in it's not really timing. Well, I guess it's sort of timing. That one, I think that's a push. I'll go with this, especially since I know that story-wise, there's a lot going on. And certainly I think, Dinah was a little bit distracted with the questioning that's happened, so maybe that helps me sneak out of her eagle eye.
Sure.
Ooh, look at that. 10,
Okay.
Great success.
So, everyone that should fall for it, falls for it.
He kind of slips out, he gets his coffee, and just, he wears his sort of beige and light blue uniform, and just kind of, while this little bit of tension is happening, if anyone, I would say that possibly Imogen might notice but lets me go.
She would understand the awkwardness and just sort of let him go.
Yeah. On the and he gets his coffee and heads to what would be sort of the back entrances of Dinah's building to go get to his janitor's locker and get to work.
While they've been talking and holding you in the booth, Clinton, it's now 8:51.
Oh, so what do I do for this? He was supposed to be at work at 8:46.
All the clock.
I mean, actually, I've done another weakness against that. I mean, I think I still would have been okay, but because he doesn't actually have one with being off schedule as a weakness.
Well,
schedule, but I've been sort of playing it that way.
Anyway,
no. So, but like, how do I? What? This is me looking for mechanics in a game that doesn't have mechanics. So no, Clinton.
Yeah, just explain it out. Explain it out.
It's going to be it's going to be rushing to work because he likes to arrive at 8:46 so he can change the time. His shift starts at 9 p.m. exactly, and he has to clock in.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything here that will stop you from doing that. If you wanted to, maybe I can see one of your mythos is to do with mobility. If you wanted to roll something for that, we could do that. We could just call it a take the risk, and see if you can get there in time.
Yeah, taking a risk to get there to beat the clock. Think of weaknesses as what are the weaknesses to the powers on that specific
Right.
Logos book.
I'm not sure. Right now, I think that would be a crack in his. It would be a crack in his. What's the bad one? The bad one's the cracks, right?
Cracks are bad for Logos. Fades are bad for Mythos cards.
He is not aware of the gremlin. So I don't think him being late, it would not invoke this. And if anything, the gremlin, I think, would get great joy out of seeing him being off schedule. So they are at odds with each other. So I think this, if anything, and I'm going to throw it to my friendly neighborhood DM, how does the gremlin make it worse? And make me roll against myself, basically.
Okay, so how are you getting to work? Are you running?
Yeah, because normally I would walk. So he doesn't run because he doesn't want to draw attention to himself. So it's that fast walk, hurrying to get there down the street, across the street. I mean, I can think of one. Actually, I just thought of one, which would be great.
Oh my gosh, it's like
So
there was.
He gets to the crosswalk. He does not cross against a crosswalk, and the light just keeps not changing. The light is stuck on "Do Not Walk."
Oh man,
and he just sits there, and he's just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there.
And there's no traffic at this point.
There's no traffic, but he still stands there.
Yeah.
He forgot to salt the snail, and now he's just plagued with bad luck.
Yeah. So,
do you feel like being late like this? Do you feel like that should be a crack on your cog in the machine?
Yeah, it would crack the cog in the machine. Yeah.
Episode 1, episode 0, even first crack. Doing well.
I think so.
So we will leave you guys then. We will leave Clinton there, stuck at the light. Maybe not in view of the diner, but also not too far. He's only gone a few alleyways away, so he's stuck. He's in turmoil. Back in the diner, you guys were talking.
I have questions for Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's literally my job to know. And where John Doe wasn't able to get information, I'm pretty confident that she'll confide in me. But we're going to do this the easy way as friends. Imogen, can you bring a slice of cake? Do you prefer cake or cobbler, Lee? Ms. Lee. They have the best cobbler here.
I can get both.
It kind of looks like Lee's just trying to like shrink into her seat.
Imogen's like, I'll get both. I'm still feeling very awkward.
Get both 2 hot chocolates with cream and also coffee black. It's going to be a long one. Now, Lee, I want you to know that I'm someone you can trust. And the reason you can trust me is I already know all about you. I know everything about you. However, I need to hear it from you because we are friends now. And I think friends are a very important thing for you to have in your life. And I'm a little more than a friend to you, Lee. I am an ally, a silent protector, a watchful guardian. And what I want to do is I want to try to investigate Lee using my tapping into my Red Destiny mythos, where essentially I can project uncanny charisma, a soothing presence, a trustworthy appearance. However, I have on my criminologist logos theme, I have an underworld reputation. Lee probably knows who Dinah Kennedy is. And she knows who I am, and she knows what happens to people who deal with my law firm. Usually they end up confessing to things they didn't do, and they go away for a long, long time. However, I think that's about it. Does that sound fair, Dungeon Master? Is your volume?
You are
Yeah, so
muted.
your mic's gone.
Sorry. Yeah, that looks absolutely perfect to me. I can't see anything else there that might come into effect, unless Lee is looking like they might be about to bolt, in which case you might be able to bring your premonition on.
Oh, she's sinking.
But that's the only thing I can think of that might be an extra thing. If you wanted to use that to sort of gauge if she's gonna.
She has to wait for the cake and the cobbler and the hot chocolate. She would not say no. She doesn't know when her next meal is going to be.
Imogen at this point, sensing how uncomfortable Lee is, sort of serves her first and just like pops, and she's put like a couple of extra marshmallows on top of this hot chocolate that has been ordered, and then slides the coffee and everything in front of Dinah, like, and walks away but stays near, so almost like she is listening and watching. She sort of sits on a stool.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in your hands, Kiana.
Okay.
So on a 7 to 9, you have to give a straight answer or a solid lead. Okay, so this doesn't have to be Lee talking. You could do this as a player describing their actions which are giving something away. But on a 7 to 9, you also choose one. Dinah gets to choose, I believe. I'll let you guys. You're both players. I'll let you decide between you. Your investigation exposes you to danger. Don't think that's going to apply here. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. Or whoever or whatever you're asking the questions can ask you one question as well.
Oh, I'd love for you to ask me some questions too. I have nothing to hide except for everything. You're women of secrecies.
Does that sound good for you as well, Kiana, or would you prefer to give incomplete or part true, part false answers?
No, the answering. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Friendship is built on trust. And that's one of the first things you learn in your life.
So you had free power. You have 3 questions of Lee. And John and Imogen, you can also get involved here if you guys all want to work together.
Imogen is sort of sat watching. She's more of an observer than anything.
John would be eating some of the saltines.
I'd like you to ask the first question, John. Just as we're about to get started, you, John, right into the questioning.
You just see like Sheilan just kind of like slowly taking the hot chocolate.
Where were you going earlier today when I tailed you?
You made a good guess earlier.
I walk these streets hours on end. I know what's in those casinos. Casinos are houses of vice and sin. What? How old are you? What were you going to do in a casino?
I wasn't going into the casino. I'm not old enough to do that yet. So plus, I like get carded.
If you don't mind, John, we're trying to have some girl talk. I think the father might need some checking on in the restroom. He's been in there for a while. Ms. Lee, what makes you most uncomfortable about this situation, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't think anyone likes, being sat down and questioned and kind of trapped into a situation they can't exactly get away from without being suspicious. You
Well,
know.
Clinton got up and he wasn't suspicious. You could leave at any time. No one's holding you here. However, you seem to be enjoying that hot chocolate, and it's on me. Um, do, and this isn't a personal question. It kind of is. Do you have anyone looking out for you? Anyone at all?
Yeah, I have friends. We look out for each other.
What are their names?
She looks incredibly nervous.
You can trust me, Lee. In fact, why don't you ask me a question first? I'll answer honestly and forthright.
How do you know
No.
about me?
A Diet Coke, thank you. Part of my job, Ms. Lee, is to do the sort of clerical work about all persons of interest in the immediate locale. When I say persons of interest, we mean prospecting new clients, people that might be in need of our services in the near future. Essentially, what I'm saying is people like you sometimes need the services of someone like me. Legal services. You know, there's a blight on the city, and young people such as yourselves can't afford proper representation in a court of law. So what we do is we provide legal services free of charge as a gift to the community. We're kind benefactors.
Hmm. I'm fine. I stay out of trouble.
When was the last time you found yourself in trouble?
Hmm.
It's all right. I'll tell you. I was in trouble. It was Christmas Eve, and I went out to buy a dress for a party tonight that's not till 7 days and 44 minutes from now.
That's trouble.
That's a lot of trouble. Can you imagine me walking this town with outdated pumps, the hand-me-downs, and spaghetti strap top? It's not safe. There's plenty of creeps and weirdos.
When Dana says hand-me-downs, John kind of like looks down at his attire, and then just like,
Oh, John.
John gets up and moves over towards the front door, and he just starts kind of looking outside.
Do you want to go shopping, John?
No, I want to find that body.
That's when Dinah sort of clicks. There's a body. Lee, what's your rate? Day rate.
My what?
A day rate. If we were to pay you by the day, what sort of stipend would you need?
I'm not for hire.
All right. Well, nobody's hiring you. It was just a question.
I mean, I just go to school. I don't do anything.
What are you studying?
I'm in high school.
Advanced degree?
Nah.
Tech ed?
Whatever. Not like I pay attention that much.
Do you
Why
have a
do you even
favorite
care?
class?
I
Favorite teacher? John, I think you need help finding that body, and I think I can help you. And I want you to know that I'm sorry about the remark I made about the potential pumps I could be wearing tonight.
I don't know what pumps are.
Your shoes.
Oh, And you look down, and John's not wearing shoes.
And with that, I'm no further questions. John, let's get you some shoes. It's not safe to be walking barefoot in this town. Also cold. We'll get.
I mean, it's fine. I'm fine. I gave my, I guess the footwear that Father Doyle gave to me to a young man who needed him. He's over on 4th and 3rd, just behind the pizzeria place.
Okay.
Look, what was that? We were in hell.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're talking about this instead of me. I thought that was just going to be more pressing. Yeah, what the fuck?
Subject changes. She doesn't stop talking.
You were going to the casino. We were in hell, and we found blood at the casino. Clinton said it's going to happen in 7 days. I feel like we need to head to that casino. We need to look for the man in the white suit.
Imogen walks over and just pours them all a coffee, more as an excuse to approach the table again. She's like, I don't think it was hell. I'm sorry if that's, but
It was.
we saw it happening.
It was
Imogen, I value your thoughts.
the end of days. That's supposed to be coming soon. Something with all these computers going haywire.
I just serve coffee. I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff, but
If I do, I don't remember.
Is that all you want to do, Imogen?
what do you mean? Coffee?
To do serve coffee? Is that your life
Well,
plan?
No, but
If you could do anything else in the world right now, what if you help
Anyone
us?
who's paying attention sees Clint walk by the outside of the diner very rapidly
I think Imogen would spot him.
as he's trying to find another crosswalk.
Would you just let him go, or would you pull him back
I
in?
think Imogen would walk out and just be like, would I know his name? Because I don't think we've ever actually spoken properly.
From when you had my ID, you might have read it.
Yeah, okay. She's just like, Clint, come back.
You need a ride, Mr. Marks?
John is going to be looking outside the diner. He feels like somebody's watching him, or somebody's watching the diner. Especially since what just happened. He's gonna I have no relevant skills that would help in an investigation for being a lookout.
Can I help you?
Adam, you're muted.
With the time and everything, I think I'll just give this one to you, John. As you look out the window, and as Clinton is currently outside, you see a low-slung Mercedes drive past.
John takes out after it.
And I think that's where we will wrap up today's session. So, guys, how do we feel? First session sort of 0 of City of Mist. How are we all feeling? How do we like the system? How do we like the characters? How do we like the interactions?
Absolutely loved it.
I have a great time. I love City of Mist. I've played like tons of one shots and like an entire season of it. and we're still doing the second season, and it's just all good fun. I love the system. It's very narrative, and it's all freeform, which if you guys are coming from D&D where everything has a skill and a proficiency, you're going to find yourself in a weird position, because now you're in the DM seat and you're saying to the DM, no, this is what I'm doing. And the DM's saying, all right, roll. And then if you fail, the DM says, okay, here's what actually happens. So, and if you guys are having trouble with it, it will fade quickly after we have more sessions like this, when you realize that like the weaknesses are actually helpful things, because that's how you level up, is you play into your weaknesses, which Tall Squall is doing a phenomenal job. I feel like he needs to add another weakness tag to one of his Logos books that is specifically about not being on time, just so he can constantly invoke it.
And it's true as well. When you start up your cards, you can take an extra weakness and an extra power tag on one of your cards. So if you wanted to do that ready for next week, Squall, you could.
Normally,
I might, because Clinton sort of evolved literally minute by minute through the session, as I hadn't had a lot of time to really, you always sort of discover a character, and I wasn't planning on him being so scheduled based, and ended up I was using it just sort of a little bit of a narrative crutch, but I'm kind of really, really liking it. So yeah, I might do that. I might do a something in one of my sheets, because yeah, he's turned out to be a little bit different than I thought he was, but I'm having fun with him. I'm certainly having fun with him as a character, and it's interesting to know, as a DM for Dungeons and Dragons, to know where that line is of crossing. As you were saying, you are sort of the DM in this, but there's still sort of you don't want to, I'm getting the framework down, but I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying it.
I like that there were no numbers in this game, so you have put the numbers into your character to deal with, because you have to have.
There's no structure, so you put structure in it, and that's like really interesting to see. Add that extra weakness, and you could constantly be kicking off improvements and attentions and stuff. Especially like if you go into the book at the end of each kind of theme book explanation, there is improvements, and look at those improvements, because those might help shape what you do with that Logos book a lot better.
Cool. Well, anyway, I know we're supposed to be introducing ourselves and wrapping up. I'm Tall Squall. You can find me all over the interwebs as Tall Squall. You will see me out at San Diego Comic-Con. If anyone is going out there, you'll see me at Gen Con for folks who are doing that. And if you check out on my social media, tomorrow is Teaser Tuesday for our new publishing venture that me and my buddy Bird in the Storm is doing, called, Bird versus Plane, and I are doing. It is called Bird in the Storm Publishing. We will be teasing a little bit more of our new module that we will be playtesting over at Gen Con. So keep an eye out on my social media for tomorrow. And yeah.
Awesome. And as each of you do your wrap up as well, could you also roll me 2d6? So we'll go back around the opposite way from earlier. So we'll go to Zippy next.
I'm Zippy Zippo here on Twitch. You can find me here at Zippy_Zippo or gaming.exp on Twitter. I'm a variety streamer, but I also do a lot of tabletop RPGs around Twitch. You can catch me tomorrow on the Greyhawk channel for Vecna Lives, where I play Kane Abelson. And you can come catch us on Wednesday on the Greyhawk channel for Mordekainen's Path to the Many Planes, where Charlotte Weatherfields has just been introduced to the chaotic group that is over there. And the 2d6 come out at a 9.
That's bizarre.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm. So Alice next. Thank you, Zippy.
Yeah, I loved this session. I think, in particular, this system is used for character development more than anything. So I thought this was which is one of my favorite things to do. So I think this was a really good session 0. Yeah, I'm White Rabbit Pick. I'm obviously the other half of Scrat. When I'm not DMing or playing over here, I am also over on Encounter Roleplay for Warhammer every Wednesday, which I think is 5 p.m. EST. And I'm currently writing a podcast, which has all changed up recently, but it is in the works. But I already can't wait till next Monday. I am excited for this.
Perfect. Next up the screen, we have Kiana S.
Oh, this was definitely getting my feet under me for the system. I really like all the other characters. I love how already we're seeing hints of, how complex they are, and I really, really enjoy that. I like playing this trash teen punk who just doesn't want to cooperate at all. So it's kind of interesting to see those dynamics kind of come into play. I'm interested to see how it develops, and I can't wait for next week. I'm sure things will flow a little more smoothly once we get into the groove. But I'm curious as to what the fuck's happening. What's happening? I don't know. Thank God I'm not playing a smart character this time around. So I can just marvel in what's happening. Yeah, so you guys can find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. The best way to catch up with me, talk to me about everything, and also the best way to catch up as to where I am, because I am all over the internet. But to go through a quick review of what I do, on Sundays, I'm on a podcast called Ladies Lane Dragons, releases new episodes those evenings. Me too, cool lady, talking about all things tabletop. This month we have a special event all about visual representation. We have a series of interviews. Our first one just came out yesterday, which was super, super awesome. So please check us out over on Twitter at Lady Slay. On Mondays, I'm on Encounter Roleplay playing some Call of Cthulhu. On Tuesdays, I'm over on WebDM playing some Spelljammer 5e campaign fun stuff. On Wednesdays, I am on this channel DMing One Shot Wonders, which is my series of one shots in a new setting every month. We get a new cast every time. It's super, super awesome. This month is the Feywild. Next month is Dark Sun. So super fun stuff. Definitely check that out. And on Saturdays, I am on Grimjack channel playing some Pulp Cthulhu early afternoon. And in the evenings, every other Saturday, I'm on a Dungeon World campaign called From Dust, which I just started. Super awesome stuff. So yeah, that's until next Monday, where we maybe find out some more stuff of what's happening. Maybe Shulan will be more moody. Who knows? I'm excited to see.
Fantastic. And last but not least, the new addition to the show, Dina Kennedy. Welcome, Dina. How was your first stream session?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to play with you on the Academy. I'm new to Twitter, Twitch, and tabletop role-playing games, and I absolutely enjoyed all the characters and getting to know each other. And you can find me on Twitter at DinaKennedy13, and you can also find me here every Monday night on the Shadow of Mist campaign.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And I'm just uploading links to some of you guys. I might have missed some because I'm a terrible human being. But I've tried my best to shout you all out. I think I did sort of, kind of. There's Dina's. So as for me, guys, if you enjoyed the show, first of all, here are my social links. If you guys hop in the Discord, we've got a really family friendly sort of friendly society who are inclusive. They're teachy without being preachy. They talk D&D and other tabletop RPGs like this one, and also give each other a lot of support as well, which is really nice to see. Also, in the Twitter there, if you guys want to I run a whole bunch of one-shots as I try and make this channel into like a safe place for people to come and try D&D with sort of like impunity and stuff. That you don't need to be you don't need to have a reputation or anything to come and play with me, you guys. Just pop me a message on Twitter. I'll get you I'll get you into a game. Simple as that. I'll get you in the diary. I'm catching up on all the diary things from this week because I was having I was building up to this session, and I was just like, I had so many things on that I've fallen behind a little bit. And lastly, Nightbot has brought up my Redbubble merch. I do have merch as well. But I also have a YouTube up there in the social links, which is a great place to catch up with all the other one-shots and maybe see some examples if you're interested. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to come and support me from $1. Whoa.
You kind of hold it away from you.
I also have a Patreon. Sorry, I was on the wrong tab. You guys can support me from $1, and it'd be very much appreciated because, you know, donations are great, but constant income's even better. Thank you guys all so much. I'm just having a look to see who is online right now, and it looks as though Encounter Roleplay are live doing Runecrest. I'm never awake at this time, so I have no idea what's going on.
They literally are just wrapping.
Oh, they're just wrapping? Okay, maybe.
Yep, they have an 8 o'clock time slot as well. 8 till 11 line, an 8 till 11 time slot as well.
Okay. Well then, in that case, I believe the Foglore starts up around now and streams into the morning. I think they're usually up when I'm usually waking up, so maybe we'll go over there. So that's cooling down now. On our wrap up, you guys, I don't even know if they're live. Never mind, we'll go and pay them some love anyway. On our wrap up, you guys, what we'll do quickly is talk about maybe crew themes and stuff. The raid countdown should be going now. We won't do that in like the raid time. We'll just talk about that if you guys have a moment afterwards. Thank you all so much for coming along to play. I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my first time DMing City of Mist, so I hope I have not made anything too confusing or anything. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you guys in chat. See you, Other Doc, Noah, and Boss Bedlam. Thank you all for coming along. We'll see you next time. Keep on evoking emotions.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.